was unconscionable, and I felt that I needed to do something and do something quickly. I don't think I witnessed anything of that nature in my entire career.
Really?
Really.
That bad?
It was that bad.
What are we going to see then?
You're going to see acts that defy humanity. You're going to see a disregard for life, duty of care that we're all sworn to, and a level of physical interaction that is above and beyond what is required in law enforcement. Individuals watching will feel what the family felt. And if you don't, then you're not a human being.
So we don't often hear the police talk about these incidents in this way. They generally will talk in a much more defensive, vague, we'll find out, whatever manner. That seemed honest and legit and straightforward. But also, obviously we've experienced a lot of these sorts of incidents. So when I hear that the acts that we're gonna see in this video defy humanity, I mean, look, I personally believe that about virtually every one of these videos that we see. Just a couple days ago, we showed absolutely vicious assault by police. I would say that defies humanity. Is that police chief saying that these defy humanity in comparison to normal videos? What exactly are we going to see on this? Like, I can't tell if this is a cop finally seeing this the way that we all are, or if this is that outstanding in comparison to the brutality that we see on a daily basis. And now I'm just very worried. Brett, what do you make of what you saw in that video?
The other question is, has the activism of the general population of the reform movement in America scared police officers and police departments into actually being a little bit or a lot more transparent? Because, I mean, look at the timeline of this versus George Floyd. George Floyd happened like on one, say it was, I forget what day of the week it was, but on Monday it happened. On Tuesday it was a trending topic in America, and within a few, like there was an investigation immediately, charges brought within days, because it was a bystander who caught the incident.
Yeah.
This is it's a few weeks in this situation. And then you have to check the timeline for most of these events these days, because you'll find out about incidents of police brutality that took place months, if not years ago, that only because of initiatives to make body cam footage more accessible to the general population and people like TYT and auditors of police body cam footage in general who want to get the word out, they go and they find this footage. And it's gonna look horrible to the chief of police of Memphis that this happened at all, and anyone's gonna see that footage. And the reason we see it this fast is because of how much more horrible it would look to them. It would look if they sat on it for longer.
Yeah. CJ Davis, the police chief that we saw right there, says that it's about the same, if not worse, than the video of Rodney King being beaten.
Yeah, so it sounds like they just stood around him and just beat him to death after it was very clear
similar
to anything.
Exactly, and then probably just watched him succumb to his injury. That's what it feels like to me. This is just speculation. And people are going to be rightly infuriated by that this keeps happening over and over. Every one of those cops that participated in this is not 6 months old. Every one of those cops has been around, many of them as cops, for literally dozens or hundreds of these sorts of incidents. They've seen it happen. They've seen the national discussion about it. They've seen social protests about it. They've seen discussions about legislation about it. I'm sure they've had talks amongst themselves and with other cops about it. And then they were put in a situation where they could make one of several different types of choices. and they chose to utterly brutalize someone, to beat the life out of someone. The fact that there are still so many cops around this country just waiting for their opportunity to be the person that we have to discuss it's appalling. It's utterly depressing that so many of these instances, like us being forced to reckon with it, to hear the details, to see the raw testimony of the families, to see the video itself, to watch people have the life beaten out of them. And it just doesn't sway millions and millions of Americans who believe that the cops have literally never done anything wrong, and many, many cops that don't think that this is a problem, that either individually or at least once they get into a group are going to actively participate in an incident like this. That you have a group of 5 cops, and we'll see, maybe on the video there's one that was saying, hey guys, I think we got him, we can stop. But it doesn't seem like that's the case. It seems like, I mean, we know how bad cops can be individually, and we know how much worse they can be when they feel like they need to go along with what cops do.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.